Residents turn out for several town hall meetings, and city officials kick off construction of the Atlanta streetcar. That and more next on City Talk. Hello everyone, welcome to City Talk. I'm Thermice Bevelle. Mayor Kasim Reed will lead a delegation to China to drum up more business for the Atlanta region. The mayor, Invest Atlanta, and the Metro Atlanta Chamber of Commerce will make the week-long trip starting March 23rd. One of their goals is to increase Georgia exports to China. Exports have gotten better with billions of dollars in goods being shipped to the Far East. City officials hope access to the world's busiest airport, a robust tech sector, and the presence of a dozen foreign consulates will appeal to Chinese business leaders looking to expand trade with our region. Representatives from 20 local companies will join the mayor on his trade mission. District 5 Councilwoman Natalie Archibong hosted a forum on alcohol licensing laws and enforcement measures. APD was there to explain how licenses are issued and what happens if alcohol sales ordinances are violated. Atlanta's Alcohol Technical Advisory Group is examining the city's alcohol code, which deals with the licensing of establishments that sell beer, liquor, and wine, as well as the enforcement of such laws. The advisory group will make its recommendations to the City Council. The forum was followed by an education town hall meeting to discuss public school redistricting. APS is considering closing schools in some communities and rezoning some students to other nearby schools to address enrollment patterns.
We need to make sure that every neighborhood has a great elementary school, middle school, and high school. We have to acknowledge that we don't have that in every part of the system. But that, from a board perspective and a policy perspective, is where we are striving to get to.
A decision is expected this spring. Councilmember Keisha Bottoms hosted her third annual community town hall where she and top city personnel discussed redistricting, crime reduction, code enforcement issues, sanitation, street paving, and water bill disputes. The town hall meeting also featured a question and answer session to address other concerns.
It's amazing to have so many commissioners here participating in this town hall. We're very fortunate in District 11 in that our concerns are heard, as they are throughout the city, but to have the department heads come here after work and stay for a 3-hour meeting to address concerns of constituents firsthand is very important. It's needed and it's appreciated by the community.
The meeting was an opportunity to bring city departments to the community in an effort to share information about important city issues. Councilmember Joyce Shepherd also hosted a town hall meeting where residents heard about various city initiatives impacting District 12, including economic development, public safety, and updates to the city's floodplain maps. A review of city properties shows flood risks have increased for a number of parcels, while the risk has decreased for others. Fire safety was also a topic of discussion. Fire Chief Kelvin Cochran says District 12 has the least number of fires in the city.
Even though it's one of the highest risk geographical areas in our city for fires, it's one of the safest fire areas in the city of Atlanta. Fires in District 12 are going down.
Shepherd says this meeting gave residents much needed information about programs that impact our daily lives. The City of Atlanta now requires property owners to register vacant homes with the city. Councilwoman Shepherd spearheaded this measure to track abandoned properties. The move is aimed at enforcing housing code ordinances. City officials say vacant properties pose a safety threat to residents and can cause hazards such as fires and accidents. Owners of vacant properties must register their homes for $100. If within a year the home becomes occupied, you can come back to the city to document your compliance. If the residential property is still empty after 1 year, the registration fee increases. City Council President Cesar Mitchell was honored by Atlanta Business and Entertainment Exchange. Mitchell was recognized for being a homegrown success story. He is the second most powerful public official in Atlanta city government. As president of the City Council, Mitchell leads Atlanta's legislative branch, presiding over all meetings of the 15-member council. He also assigns council members to committees and appoints committee chairs. In his capacity as an attorney, elected official, and civic leader, the Atlanta native has been featured in several magazines and frequently speaks on panels and at seminars about public policy and community issues. He is actively involved with a number of civic, legal, and community organizations. U.S. Transportation Secretary Ray LaHood, Mayor Reed, and other city officials kicked off construction of the Atlanta streetcar. The streetcar is a citywide transportation system that will link MARTA to popular sites like the World of Coke, the King Center, and the Georgia Aquarium. The project will also reconnect the eastern and western sides of the city by bridging the gap created by the downtown connector when the expressway was built.
The innovation really is about economic development. And we have already seen, even though we haven't even started, a number of people invest from other areas of the country.
Atlanta was awarded $47 million in federal money to help pay for the project. The rest of the balance was picked up by the city and the Atlanta Downtown Improvement District. Travelers going in and out of Hartsfield-Jackson see a new face at Concourse C. Southwest Airlines started flights at the world's busiest airport. The Dallas-based company took over AirTran. Both airlines will operate flights to and from Atlanta until Southwest fully integrates AirTran planes into its brand.
I can assure you, as the Love airline, we love you, Atlanta. We are glad to be here. It's been a long time coming. The Southwest is here at last, baby.
The airline also added 26,000 square feet of cargo space at the airport and will soon start cargo service. Atlanta relies heavily on technology to make the city operate efficiently and effectively. For the Department of Information Technology, it's a tough task they are willing to tackle.
Good afternoon, Department of Information Technology. How may I help you?
Say the words information technology and what comes to mind?
By expanding it to an enterprise application, we can get full utilization of a couple of things.
IT is so much more.
It's kind of like saying to a lawyer, you know, how's law doing right now? But there's so many areas and so many aspects that make up information technology. So whether it's applications or developing applications or is our infrastructure, which is the backbone.
For the city of Atlanta, information technology has a major impact across many platforms, like land use and development, water and waste management, and even aviation.
We used to be the department that handled basically your computers, right? Nothing but your computers. But as technology has evolved, so has our responsibilities.
Dennis Rose, along with colleague Daphne Rackley, are Deputy Chief Information Officers for the Department of Information Technology. Together, they are responsible for providing information technology support that is innovative and value-driven, as well as delivering high-quality city services.
I am in charge of hardware, your laptop, your phone, basically any device that you can lay your hands on. That is what I'm responsible for.
And all things software is handled by Daphne Rackley.
I think it's important that you understand the city strategy and how we're trying to make sure a customer's issue is tracked from the moment of inception to the time it filters through our work order maintenance systems. I kind of have two roles. One, the desktop support and the end user support role, that's your help desk, and those are the people who normally come out to fix your computer when you have a problem or fix your BlackBerry when you have a problem. Those are the people that get touched more by the customer. A lot of times people don't see all the other things that happen underneath the table. They see that interaction, or they define us by that interaction with that group. So it's very important to me that we come across one with respect and treat our customers intelligently.
In an effort to dispel the mystique of IT, the department held a day-long fair as a way to show customers what DIT is all about.
We want to spread the word about some of the technologies that are available to the city employees, because a lot of people don't know that, you know, they're capable of doing these things, that the technology is available.
Information technology changes constantly. Keeping pace with current IT trends is key, and that's what the City of Atlanta is doing, thanks to the staff in the Department of Information Technology.
I think we have great grounds to make up on the infrastructure side, trying to find a solution that protects us and protects our data. So I think we fare very well in that, in a sense that we're all in the same boat trying to find the best solutions.
For City Talk, I'm Troy Danicus.
Coming up, we sit down with DIT's Michael Dogan and the city honors Judge Marvin Arrington. Stay with us. DIT's Michael Dogan is with us today. It's a pleasure to have you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
As the Chief Information Officer, what's your strategy for making the city of Atlanta more technologically savvy?
Oh, really good question. I think that with the advent of new technology and the fast pace at which technology changes, that is a very difficult and but a really good challenge. So I think the first thing that we're looking to do is increase training. We cannot do enough of that, just of the new technology, the new changes that come about, and whether it be an office application or whatever it may be, something to get the users comfortable with things that help them do their job. So through increased training and awareness, we should be able to do those things. In addition to that, we want to offer more like technology fairs, just as what we did yesterday, to get some more excitement around what technology could mean for the individuals, whether it be at work or at home. Because in this day and age, those boundaries are blurred right now. We have more individuals now that are using their own devices. I'm seeing this throughout the country, and they're allowing them to bring them into the workplace and to be able to use those things whether you're here or there.
Okay. Oracle, the city's enterprise resource planning program. What does this system allow the city to do that it couldn't do before?
Oh, well, before Oracle, we had Mars G. And in Mars G, this system did not allow us to do more of the accrual-based accounting. We were a cash-based system. That was phenomenal. And as the advent of Oracle coming on, we were now able to move from the cash-based system to more of a accrual-based system, right? Secondly, we were not able to do monthly financial closings. That was phenomenal. That meant we really didn't know where our money was or how much we had at the end of a particular month. Now we have more visibility into that because of the Oracle system. We reduced paper in terms of requisitions by like 99%. We were due on any average of a year like 36,000 transactions or more. Now those 36,000 transactions, more or less, about only like 300 of those now are still paper transactions. So we've not completely eliminated, but we've gone a long ways.
DIT held an expo in the City Hall atrium. Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, wow. It was the first ever event that I'm aware of since I've been at the city. And its aim and goal and purpose was simply to say, let me just dispel the rumors about what you think IT is, and especially here at the city. Let me show you some really exciting things that we're doing here at the City of Atlanta. So what we were able to do was to bring in some of our partners and vendors that were already serving us in the various capacities that they were, from the airport, some kiosks, some things with Verizon. They're one of our partners, AT&T, Sprint, and those alike, Excel Automation. And they were able to bring in we were able to bring in those particular vendors. They were able to show us exciting things that their applications could really do for us. And so it was an idea, again, of moving us along to make us a more technology savvy city. So it gave us the opportunity for those individuals to actually come down and interact with the various IT city employees as well as the vendors of the products for which they're already using. So it just gave them an opportunity to see it, touch it, feel it, and then also ask certain questions about it.
In this new technology age, is the IT department moving in the right direction in terms of teleworking and the new electronic legislation that's slated to roll out soon?
I would like to say yes to that. I mean, in the advent of where we are now in the economy, and with gas prices fluctuating as much as they are, that's an unpredictable thing that we really can't control. I believe the right thing for us to do is allow our employees to not be bound by these walls, if you would. There are studies that suggest that we can be as productive, if not more so, with allowing them that level of flexibility. And I will tell you that we've seen a tremendous amount or value in allowing that level of flexibility. It allows the employee to have more self-worth, more confidence in what they do, and quite frankly, it makes their job more pleasurable.
in doing that.
The City of Atlanta has online services such as paying water and sewer bills, getting permits, and paying for parking tickets. And you're planning for Atlanta to provide more government services via the internet.
We are.
Such as?
Good question. I was wanting to be a little bit more coy on that because we like to make a splash. But we're going to look to do things that in the area of mobility. The idea that we need to bring our applications to our constituency. The idea that suggests that they have computers. Atlanta is found to be one of the most technology savvy cities around the country. I mean, that's a known fact. And the reality of that is then we as a city need to respond to that in kind. So what we're looking to do is bring more of our application, those services, core services that that we provide as a city to our constituency. So we want to start to launch things like My Atlanta as an example, where a user could use their smart devices, iPads, etc., iPhones, Droids, and be able to connect to the city for more information, if you will, and to be those other eyes and ears for us so that they don't have to come all the way down to City Hall to do business with us. Again, the idea is bringing more information to them in the manner in which they're accustomed to doing business in this day and time.
If we spent a day in your shoes, what would that be like?
Wow. You may have to change your shoes several times. If you got on hard shoes, you may need to put on some running shoes because it's really exciting. It's fast-paced. There are a lot of great initiatives that are going on throughout the city, and DIT plays a major role in most of those. There are very few initiatives that are actually done in any of the departments in which we have with the city that does not have some level of IT component to it. So as a result of that, we have a lot of things going on, a lot of initiatives that are going on, so it's really fast-paced. I can just tell you that my phone never goes off. We work around the clock.
Michael Dogan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
When we come back, Castleberry Hill celebrates the opening of a new store, and Monica Pearson says she's signing off. Back in a moment. The Castleberry Hill neighborhood celebrated the grand opening of its newest small and locally owned business. Boxcar Grocer is an independent family-owned grocery store that offers organic produce, fresh baked goods, and a dairy selection from local farmers and producers. Councilman Kwanzaa Hall has tracked the progress of Boxcar since the store's owners started developing their concept.
This is really something innovative to happen in our city, and it's a sign of change. It's a sign of a paradigm shift in terms of food, in terms of social justice, in terms of changing the economic models that we've seen around the country and around the world.
Hall launched an ongoing campaign to encourage Atlantans to shop and buy locally. His Keep It In Town initiative promotes spending money right here at home. District 9 Councilmember Felicia Moore sponsored a fibroid seminar to bring awareness to uterine fibroids and what women can do to prevent and care for the tumors. Research shows that millions of women suffer with fibroids, and 1 in 3 women have had a major surgery due to the condition. The free seminar, hosted by Dr. John Littman, focused on preventive measures and less invasive methods of treatment for the non-cancerous growth.
If you are suffering or you know someone else who is, have them look into it and don't do like I did and set the information aside and suffer, and keep thinking about it and just get to a point where you have to do something. Because you can do it now and you will thank yourself for having gone through it.
Fibroids are the most common benign tumors in females and are typically found during the middle and later reproductive years. The City of Atlanta celebrated the retirement of Judge Marvin Arrington. Councilman Michael Bond held a special reception and proclamation presentation honoring the Fulton County Superior Court judge. Prior to his appointment as judge, Arrington served the community in a number of capacities. He served over 2 decades as an elected city official and had 4 landslide victories as city council president. Judge Arrington has received numerous awards and commendations for his many accomplishments in the legal profession and for his community involvement.
But it's been a good run, though. Atlanta's been a great city. I've enjoyed serving this city, going to public schools here, having my children go to public schools here, and hopefully I've made a difference.
The Atlanta native published his autobiography a few years ago, and he's now enjoying retirement. Councilman Bond also honored TV anchor Monica Pearson, Pearson is retiring this summer after 37 years of working at WSB. She is Atlanta's first woman and first minority to anchor the evening news. She has held the main anchor position at the same station longer than any other television personality in Atlanta and longer than most women in the country. Pearson is a member of various professional organizations and has received numerous awards and Emmys for her outstanding broadcasting abilities.
You know, words can't describe how much we appreciate what Monica has brought to Atlanta, what she has done every day for the last 37 years, coming into our home and being a part of our family. Let's give her a round of applause.
But it's also very humbling because I had people from different organizations come, and that meant a lot to me because I have always had the belief that even though I made my living here, what was most important for me was to make my life here and to be involved in the fabric of the community.
As the lead anchor at the city's #1 television station, Monica Pearson has been a trusted fixture in the community for almost 40 years. Councilwoman Carla Smith honored Moving in the Spirit for 25 years of outstanding service to the community. Moving in the Spirit is a dance-based youth development program that uses the art and discipline of dance to teach students life and workplace skills. The group was nationally recognized as an outstanding youth arts and humanities program by Coming Up Taller. Coming Up Taller supports programs that celebrate the creativity of America's young people. Moving in the Spirit was the first in Georgia and the second organization in the Southeast to receive the Coming Up Taller Award. The group has gone on to receive numerous other awards most recently. For 25 years, Moving in the Spirit has served young people from Atlanta's urban neighborhoods, providing community awareness of the importance of the arts in young lives. Councilman Aaron Watson partnered with a few organizations to help victims of domestic violence. People donated their cell phones and accessories to help fund domestic violence awareness and prevention programs. Some of the phones were preloaded with minutes and given to participating agencies. Watson says recycling the mobile phones provide victims of domestic violence access to help and protection, and it diverts these used electronics from landfills. Councilman Watson and the Atlanta Bicycle Coalition held an Action 2020 workshop on biking and walking. The seminars give advocates, agency staff, and elected officials the knowledge, skills, and resources to access untapped or underutilized federal funding sources at local, state, and regional levels to build cycling and walking infrastructure and programs. Through a highly competitive process, the Atlanta Bicycle Coalition was chosen as one of only 5 organizations throughout the nation to host an Action 2020 workshop. The Oakland City Rec Center has a cooking class for kids. Councilwoman Cleta Winslow was on hand to sample a little something tasty they whipped up. The class is every other Monday for kids ages 8 to 16. The cooking class is one of several programs at the Rec Center. Many of you may remember that 15-acre park was recently renamed Reverend James Orange Park at Oakland City as a tribute to the civil rights leader. The City of Atlanta partnered with Price Middle School for Job Shadow Day, which allows students to shadow a city employee for part of the workday to find out about government jobs. The purpose of job shadowing is to help students explore a range of career options. Councilwoman Keisha Bottoms offered words of encouragement and gave quite a few brain teasers.
So I always ask the question, what would you do if you weren't afraid to fail? If you weren't afraid that people would laugh at you, or you weren't afraid that you wouldn't do good at it, what would you do? And I just want you to think about that.
Job Shadow lets students visit a real workplace to see careers in action. If you're traveling through Hartsfield-Jackson, you'll see things in a new light. Airport officials announced the replacement of over 4,300 lights in the north and south parking decks. Aviation General Manager Lewis Miller says the lights will reduce energy costs and lessen the airport's carbon footprint. The Innovations Unit also designed a special sleeve that allows crews to change lights without damaging the cars underneath or forcing the airport to close sections of the parking decks. The lights, which are manufactured by Cooper Lighting in Peachtree City, will save the city an estimated $500,000 a year in electric bills. Residents who are eligible to receive certain credits on their 2011 income tax filings still have time to claim those credits by using the free services at voluntary income tax centers across the city. The program is provided by Atlanta Workforce Development Agency and the Atlanta Prosperity Campaign. They offer free tax preparation to those who earn less than $49,000. Tax preparers help clients get several credits, including the Earned Income Tax Credit, the Child Tax Credit, and the credit for the elderly. To find a center close to you or for more information, call the Atlanta Prosperity Campaign at 404-614-1000. Thank you for watching City Talk. I'm Thermice Bevelle.